Ambush, and thank you for tuning in to this Desert Tiger podcast video interview featuring the soulful R&B singer, Jesse Maxwell. And before we go ahead and kick this off, I just want to go ahead and tell you about one more way that me and Jesse are celebrating his new single, Undone. That's right, me and Jesse are teaming up to give one of the Canadian members of the Ambush a $50 Visa gift card, and you can find the link to that Instagram page in the description below. Follow the instructions and get yourself entered in, because this contest ends January 22nd at 5 p.m. PST. All right, Ambush, now it's time to kick off this interview featuring Jesse Maxwell.
The Desert Tiger Podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Colton. How you doing, man?
Hello, Jesse. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I've been following you on social media for a little while now. So
I know.
I'm glad
Thanks
to
so
connect.
much. Thank you so much for all the support. It's really cool.
No worries.
I really
no
appreciate
worries.
it.
I love the vibe of your music, so it's a natural energy to support you.
That's great. How's my routing, by the way? Did I do this properly? It's always weird when it's like in Zoom. Is this where I'm coming out of?
That's what it sounds like. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Sick.
Amazing.
Either way,
How's
I
your
can
day
hear
going?
you. My day's going good. Hit the gym already. It's been,
You hit the gym,
Oh yeah.
like in your condo, or like a real gym?
Like a real gym in BC. So I just go at times when there's like absolutely
Oh,
nobody
you're in
there.
BC.
Yes. So I'm in BC,
Okay.
so I go at the times that like either like super early or like really late when there's nobody else there. Spray down everything before I use it. Spray it down after
you
I'm
go.
done. Yep.
I don't think any gyms are open here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not that I'm really a gym person. I like going for a bike ride,
hmm
but I don't think anything's open here. It's crazy. So that's
fair.
good. Take advantage of it. while you
Exactly.
can.
Never know when it's gonna shut down, and then I'll be in the
Exactly.
apartment just doing push-ups and
Yep,
as much as I can.
that's the
Body
life,
weight
man.
squats, just going, just going.
That is the life.
How's your day been?
It's good. Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted. It's been very busy coming up to this release, and there's just been like a lot to do. And it's funny too because like now that I'm working with Sam, there's like a lot of other people working on this release. I thought it was going to be easier, but it's actually a lot more work to do. So that's good. At least it's a good thing. I know that it's like good work, but yeah. So it's just been a lot. But it's been good. It's been good. I'm chilling today.
Awesome. Well, that's always good. It's always good that you have time to relax a little bit, even if you're
Exactly.
joining me here.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're jumping into a little bit of your journey in this musical world up until this new single, Undone. Are you ready to jump on into it?
Super ready. I'm really excited for this to be out.
Awesome. Hype. But of course, before we get to this new single, there's a little bit of a journey that leads us there. And of course, you began this solo music journey, releasing it at least in 2019. But when did the idea get inside of your head? Because you were fronting a band inside of New York for a little while there. So how do you transition from that into Jesse Maxwell?
I don't really know. It kind of just happened. It was really fun fronting the blues band, and Marlon Hurt, who is the lyricist of the band, was really helpful in the beginning of my journey. I would write songs and he would listen to them and he would give me feedback, and he was just really great. So I started writing just because I was inspired by his writing, and all of a sudden I had all this material that I wanted to release. And in the first year, I wrote a ton of material. So I chose the best ones and I formed it into an album and I released it. And yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like a specific decision. It just kind of happened and now we're here.
Okay. So it was very natural then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay, cool. So what was that feeling of finally releasing that first single like after working with a band, taking that time to craft your own music? What was that finally like to let one of your own children, let's say, out into the world?
It was a weird feeling for sure because I had never done it before, and every time you do something new, it's you don't know how to feel about it. And I think I had certain expectations. It actually taught me a lot the first release. I think I had certain expectations that were not fulfilled because these things take time, and you have to. It's a process to get people to listen and to fall in love with what you're doing. So yeah, but I really I worked hard to push it out, and I continued to do so, and I kept releasing singles, and every time it just kind of taught me to like, biggest piece of advice I got is it's a marathon, not a race, or a sprint, not a sprint. So these things take a lot of time, and you have to, and it's a heavy process releasing something, at least for me, because I write from a very introspective place. So to put that out into the world is quite revealing. But I know that I made it because I loved it and I went with it. So that kind of pushed me through that.
Okay, definitely. It's like you said, it's very opens you up, and you're releasing a part of yourself to the world that you hold on to for so long, and then suddenly it belongs to everybody else. So it can be
Very
definitely
true.
scary, but it's also very exciting.
It is very exciting. I really look forward now to releasing music, especially just because there's so much of it, and now I've done it before, so now I know what it feels like, and I'm just excited to get music out there again.
For sure. All right. So that first album you mentioned, opening it up, crafting into those songs, the singles that you released beforehand, definitely a lot more of a fun energy. Where that first album, you definitely opened up, became honest and a lot more vulnerable with your music. So, what was it like to take that step?
It was um it was a lot emotionally, I think. It's very easy for me to write about it because I write like just, stream of consciousness and whatever on my mind, and it's very unfiltered. And then releasing it is a whole other thing because it's one thing to have it in your notes and you can record it and it's only yours. And like you're saying, the second you put it out, it's everyone else's. So it was interesting to do that, and the response was actually really nice and really comforting, and everyone really connected with it, and that's, I think, when people started to really connect with it on a deeper level, because it was the more emotional stuff, the vulnerable stuff. And it's great to have, the fun music and things that I can just put on. But when you can really make someone feel something heavy, that's to me very impactful. So yeah, it was a process, but it was a lot for sure.
For sure, absolutely. It's definitely, like you said, it's opening yourself up that extra level and releasing that energy. But of course, when we release something like that, sometimes people take that music and encapsulate it inside themselves, and they take their own interpretation of it and maybe heal in a whole new way.
Absolutely. And that's why, like, especially with Room in Hell, which was the song on the album on Radio Silence that I was really open and honest about my addiction issues with, the way that I write about it sometimes is very abstract and very ambiguous. And I try to avoid at times being so direct because I want to bring people to that moment rather than explain to them what's going on, because inside of your head everything is jumbled and you don't really know, but there's certain feelings and certain things that you're living through that you can't really explain. So that's how I wanted to approach it, really, is bring everyone to that place rather than tell them about it.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned Room in Hell being one of the most vulnerable singles that you've released yet. So take us a little bit behind that track.
That track was written from the point of view of when I was in rehab.
Oh,
Room in
dang.
Hell was the room in rehab, and kind of, which sounds intense, but it really is like you're getting clean and you're detoxing, and you're trying to like adjust to normal life again, and that's a hell of a time. So yeah, it's kind of, and there's a lot of reflection, there's a lot of introspection, there's a lot of weakness and powerlessness that's in that moment. And uh it was something that I really wanted to put on the first album because it is a huge part of me, and I live a clean and sober life now. So it's something that I wanted to put out there because it's important to me. And I always say, like, you know, for me now being sober, I've changed my life completely, and I make music and I'm productive, and you know, I'm all full of love and everything like that. But I'm nobody special. So if I can do that and I can put that in a song and show people that I was able to do this and I'm at the place where I'm at now, then I want to be that voice for people to inspire them to do that as well for their own lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. As an ex-addict, congratulations on being where you are now.
And you too.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And it's sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to be able to get back on your feet and to climb back up that mountain.
Absolutely. And the thing about Room in Hell too is it's very reflecting outwardly of the damage that has been done. And that's a huge part of it, really. And that's why I wanted to talk about that in that song, is because a big part of getting clean for me was realizing what had happened before. And you can't shelter yourself to those things because it's a reality. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, of course, you released Radio Silence in May, back when the pandemic was still at the beginning of everything. It probably knocked off quite a bit of plans. So, coming up into these next releases and through the pandemic, how have you adapted and sort of shifted plans to make sure that these new tracks that are coming up can get as much light shone on them as possible?
I've just tried to adapt the best way as possible. I have a really brilliant team working on this release, and I'm just listening to everything that they're saying, because I really don't know, to be honest. There was a very regular schedule before the pandemic. You would release music, you would play it, you would tour it, you would go in for interviews. It was very this, and this. But now everything's changed and upside down. So I'm just going to make sure I do the best that I can to push it. And because everything now is online, I'm really going to focus on that, because that's really the only way right now to do it.
It never feels right inside my head, but I won't push aside my soul's intent. Tomorrow's gonna come, that's what they said, but it'll be a while till I get there. What can I say? I hate that I'm in my own way, just looking for a hideaway to dodge the moon until I fly. How can I just feel alright when I'm not even on my side? What do I do when I've come undone? Why bother running from what I can't confront? What I can't confront when I've come undone. Oh, it never feels right inside my head, but I won't push aside my soul's intent. Tomorrow's gonna come, that's what they said, but it'll be a while till I get there. It's true, when I've been itching in my skin, the person that I knew within has left the room. There's nothing more, there's nothing more to lie about, when all it is coming out, and it's just you. But I've come undone. Why bother running from what I can't confront, what I can confront when I've come undone. It never feels right inside my head, but I won't push aside my soul's intent. Tomorrow's gonna come, that's what they said, but it'll be a while till I get there. Let me see a sight for sore eyes. Good days always come and go by, and go by. Healing up a wound can take time. Good days always come and go by, and go by. It never feels right inside my head. It never feels right inside. Let's keep it going. Oh, it never feels right inside my head. It never feels right inside my head.
All right. Well, we talked about how you're shifting the release plans. Let's talk about the first one that's come out, because it is out at the time of this interview's release. Let's talk a little bit about Undone. I am loving this track, the vibe, the
amazing.
energy. Take me a little bit about behind the vibe that you were trying to capture with Undone and how the song came together. Where was it recorded? All that fun stuff.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about this being out. I love this song so much. It's very dear to my heart for sure. We recorded this. I set up a little studio where I live, just a little DIY thing. I got my mic, I got my setup and my acoustic curtains, and we did it all there. It's me and my co-producer Andreas, and we made this instrumental, and it was very chill, and I felt very comforting and very kind of cruisy, and I really liked the vibe. And originally I was planning to write something different for it, and the other place that I took it to, I wasn't feeling it, and so I was just like sitting on my bed one day. I wrote this song in like less than an hour, and I was just, this stream of consciousness that just comes out, especially in a time like this, right? I found in the pandemic, there's not really a whole lot to do, and you're stuck with a lot of thoughts. So you have a lot of time to think about it. So it was just something that was on my mind. And so I just started writing to this instrumental, and we wanted to keep the instrumental really basic. Like there was something about it that instrumentally it's very simple. There's only like 4 instruments going on, but it just feels full and it feels right, and I didn't want to mess with that, so we kind of just kept it like that. And the song is about lying to yourself and kind of facing that part of yourself that you're scared to face. For me, it was sexuality, and realizing that I'm the only person that is stuck in my own way. Which is why that was one of the lines in the songs, because, I remember whenever I would talk about it to people, they would not minimize it, but like, it's not a big deal. It really doesn't matter. And for some reason in my head, it was the biggest deal, and I didn't like myself for it. And I think I struggled to accept it for a really long time. So I had never really gone into that topic in my music, and I felt that this was a kind of perfect time to do so because of the way that the track made me feel, and I wanted someone to listen to it to like realize the vulnerability, but find comfort in it and know that it's a learning process, and it's a growing process. So yeah, that's kind of where it stemmed from.
Absolutely. It's sometimes without even realizing it, we can be our own harshest critics.
Absolutely.
All right. And of course, this track is the first song off of an upcoming EP. So what can you tell us without giving away too much? What's available for information here?
What I'll say about it is I'm so excited for this EP to come out. It's this is the first time that I took a lot of time to self-teach myself production and sound engineering. So So I did all the sound engineering on the album along with my co-producer, and we just kind of did it, us two, from start to finish. And what was crazy to me, because if you do something that's self-taught like that, I can get information from certain places and I'm doing what I think sounds good, but then you actually show it to people and they're like, oh, this is really good. And I'm like, really? You don't expect it because we didn't use anything external for this. So I'm really excited for the fact that this EP is very organic, and the whole EP, it carries different vibes. There's not one song on it that sounds alike, and that's how I try to make music, but it all has this really nice intimacy to the project. And yeah, I like that a lot. So I'm excited. It's going to come out in May.
Awesome. So another May release date then.
There you go.
Fantastic. Well, I'm hype. I'm excited to see what the lead up brings and what magic comes with this new EP.
Same here.
Awesome. All right. So you recently released a few home studio performances with a full band, which I know you were planning on doing full band performances before everything shut down. So with the new music that's coming up, are you planning on doing more of that sort of a style of thing where you're going to take us behind, give us some live performances? Is there a few music videos possibly on the way?
You know what? There was a music video in the beginning of the pandemic. We were planning, I was actually doing a music video for Room in Hell. But that fell through because everyone stopped working and going on set and everything. And so we're really just focusing on the live sets right now. But we're doing one, we've already filmed everything, and there's one live performance for each song. And it was kind of I guess the way that we adapted really with the live band, because I have a 6-piece band and we've been practicing forever now. And we were so excited for this upcoming release, and we were going to start playing, and we had everything. We had actually a record release show planned for Radio Silence that never happened. And then everything since then has not. So we figured that this would be a good way to show people that we are live musicians and we do play live, and to experience that from your own home is how we're doing it now.
Okay, absolutely. Giving not only yourself another way to express, but also another way for fans to be able to enjoy you, since you can't get on all the radio stations, you can't tour, you can't see their lovely faces in person. So this is the next best thing, and it all sounds wonderful. You can tell that the band is having a great time, so it's definitely good energy.
Yeah, they are, and they're all super talented, and they're all wonderful people, and we just really, it's rare, I think, that you have a band that all gets along so well, personally and musically. In my experience, it's only been positive, even with the band in New York. But yeah, everyone just really gets along nicely, so you can really feel that vibe for sure.
Hell yeah. I love it. And I'm excited to see what other things come your way. All right, Jesse, before I ask my last question,
yes,
where can the listeners, the Ambush, find out more about Jesse Maxwell?
You can go find out more on my Instagram, is Jesse, JESSEMVXWELL, and you can go listen to my music on Spotify or Apple Music or all of the streaming platforms. You just search Jesse Maxwell. You will find me.
All right. Awesome. And they definitely should do that. Okay, so
please do, everybody.
Doing my research and seeing that you're a very introspective person, I'm very excited to ask this question. So,
okay,
we've spoken about your progression as a musician and how you've grown as an artist, but how has this journey as a musician, as an artist, releasing yourself to the world, how has it helped you either grow, or what has it taught you about yourself?
that's a great question. I would say I put a lot of pressure on myself to do the best that I can, and I think that is necessary at times, but to know that I need to be patient with myself and know that I'm just doing my best and I'm just human. I think has been a big part of this journey, because, we're not perfect and I can't strive for something like that. And as long as I'm doing the best that I can't be disappointed with that. And I know inside that I really am, because I it's something that I'm always doing. It's something that I'm working very hard for and I'm very focused on. And so that's all I can ask for myself at the end of the day, so just be patient with myself and take time to do things and don't rush things in every level. Things just take time to come to fruition, and you just have to trust in the process.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you also have to take the time to enjoy the process as well.
That is true. That's something I don't do always, but I need to. It's a good reminder for sure.
Oh, I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to realize that it's this is part of the journey, and these are some of the memories that you're gonna remember when you're older, and you're like, oh dang, I remember when it was like last second I had to get these vocals done and sent off to mix because like the album was coming out or whatever it happens to be, right?
Exactly.
All
yeah,
right.
Definitely enjoying it.
All right. Well, Jesse, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join me here today to take us behind this journey leading up to this new single, Undone. I'm very excited to see what the future brings you.
Thank you so much for having me on. This was really great.
Never thought I'd be the one asking for the help. Yeah. And I say it's for other people, but it's for myself. Yeah. Here's my credit card deposit for my room in hell. Empty out my pockets. I ain't got nothing to sell. Yeah. I tried it once and I'll try it again, but I'm helpless. I've waited for my life to begin, but for now I'm helpless. Give me answers. I've been here too many years. Family is done with me, and they've taken away my keys. I look at the sky, and on my face I feel a breeze. Say the answers up above. I get down on my knees. No. I told you once and I'll tell you again. I'm helpless. I've waited for my life to begin, but it looks like it's helpless. I've been hard to love, but I'ma work till the skies above open up for me. One day you'll be looking up to me. For everything that I've conquered stronger, hoping that I won't be gone for long. Will you miss me? Won't you be concerned if I miss it and I don't return? I got to get my life in order. This time I won't be cutting no corners. That's all I see are broken clocks out. Never see the real pain I caused. I got to get my life in order. This time I won't be cutting no corners. But don't expect much from me. Don't expect much from me. I gave up once and I'll give up again. 'Cause I'm helpless. No, I've waited for want my life to begin, but it looks like it's helpless. It looks like it's helpless.
The Desert Tiger Podcast.
All right, Ambush. I hope that you have enjoyed this interview, this conversation with Jesse Maxwell as we took you behind his new single, Undone, which is available right now on your favorite music streaming service. And I highly suggest you go and check it out as well as the rest of Jesse's catalog. When you're there, hit follow so that when he drops this upcoming EP, you can have it in your ears ASAP. And one last thing before I let you go, I just need to say that have you taken the time to enter that giveaway that I mentioned at the beginning of this episode? Because if you're a Canadian member of the DTP Ambush, you can enter yourself to win a one free $50 Visa gift card from the DTP and Jesse Maxwell. You can find the link to the Instagram page down below, and in there you're going to follow the instructions in the caption to get yourself entered. You're going to follow Jesse Maxwell and the Desert Tiger Podcast. You're going to tag some of your friends. And if you even want a little bit more of a bonus entry to give you that little extra push, you go ahead and you share the episode in your story as well. It's all that easy, and it all wraps up on January 22nd at 5 p.m. PST. So to our Canadian Ambush members, head on over to that link down below and get yourself entered. All right, you guys, go out there, find your mountaintop, your oasis, the thing that makes your heart sing to its fullest capacity and glory. And until next time.